Aurora's mayor, under increasing pressure to explain his conflicting statements about migrant gang activity in that city, is now trying to turn the blame on Denver's mayor. Today, Aurora Mayor Mike Kaufman accused Denver Mayor Mike Johnson of human dumping. Did that without providing evidence to back up his claim that the city of Denver funneled migrants into Aurora. Kaufman is accusing Denver of secretly moving migrants into Aurora using nonprofits. Those nonprofits have said they placed migrants wherever they could find available, affordable housing. Kaufman says Denver will not provide information on the city's involvement with those placements, so Aurora is filing open records requests, looking for evidence to support Mayor Kaufman's claim that the Johnson administration in Denver somehow directed migrants into Aurora.
He had the legal right to do it, but I thought it was gutless politically not to let us know. And I think it not only hurt us, it hurt the very people that were moved over here. So it's unfair to them. It's a form of human dumping, and unfair to our city, what the mayor did.
Johnson says the city of Denver did not place migrants in Aurora. Kaufman himself has made a series of contradictory claims about the extent of Venezuelan gang TDA in Aurora. He's sometimes offered those conflicting statements within hours of each other. Today's public comments were Kaufman's first since a mass arrest of suspected migrant gang members earlier this week. Aurora police are now saying that half of the 16 people brought in after a couple was abducted and assaulted by suspected gang members have now been charged with the crime, and they continue to look for 3 other suspects. Today, police revealed that they believe a couple was targeted because the woman took a video of a fight at the edge of Lowry Apartments near Colfax and Dallas Street. That video ended up online, and people were not happy about it. According to ICE, everyone in custody is a suspected member of the Venezuelan gang Tren de Aragua. Police say one of the suspects also happened to be one of the 6 guys seen in this viral video from August. There's 6 men with guns seen that video knocking on doors at the complex. With this latest arrest, 4 of the 6 are now in custody. This video helped to propel national headlines and led to false claims from President-elect Donald Trump that the Venezuelan gang had conquered the city of Aurora using firepower beyond what the U.S. military possesses. The city has repeatedly said that particular apartment complex has been a criminal nuisance. They've worked with the owners on a deal to shut it down. The city has promised people living there that they'll get 30 days' notice before they have to move. The government may avoid a shutdown tonight at midnight after all. House voted today to fund the government through mid-March. 2 Republicans in Colorado's congressional delegation voted against the CR. The measure includes $100 billion in disaster funding along with $10 billion in help for farmers. It does not include President-elect Trump's demand to raise the debt ceiling. All the opposition to this deal came from Republicans, including Colorado Congresswoman Lauren Boebert and Republican seat filler Greg Lopez, who is serving out the rest of Ken Buck's term. The Senate still has to approve this deal. They've got 4 hours to do it to avoid a shutdown. Police say that a journalist on the Western Slope was attacked by a man shouting about the journalist's ethnicity and saying, "This is Trump's America now." KKCO in Grand Junction says the attack on their employee happened outside of their station. Police say a man named Patrick Egan followed the journalist, harassing him, and then physically attacked him outside the station. Egan's now charged with bias-related crimes, including assault. Prosecutors in Denver say they will not file charges after Democratic Secretary of State Jenna Griswold's office inadvertently put voting machine passwords online. No evidence has emerged that it was done on purpose, which would be a crime. The investigation from the DA's office says an employee of the voting machine company ClearBallot found a hidden tab on the Secretary of State's website that included these voting machine passwords. Found it in July, but did not think anything of it until October. Democratic Secretary of State Jenna Griswold did not notify county clerks about the issue until the Republican Party found out about it and made it public. Griswold, in fact, had not told the clerks or started changing the passwords until after we reported on the breach. A third-party investigation earlier this month said Griswold's office violated state information security policies by not reviewing what they were putting on the internet more closely. Democrats in the state legislature recently voted down a proposed state audit of the password breach. This is the latest in a string of errors by Griswold's office, including sending tens of thousands of voter registration mailers to people who are not eligible to vote. Griswold's expected to announce her run for governor any day now. So about that. Candidates for governor and, other big offices often play this silly game where they deny or dance around the fact that they're running until the moment that they choose to announce that they're running. Secretary of State Griswold did that this week. And then there's this Jenna for Governor website. That raises some campaign finance questions. Here's politics guy Marshall Zellinger.
Launching soon. It's the landing page of a website that is no longer active. This morning, this was the landing page for Jenna for Governor. But on Monday, when we asked Democratic Secretary of State Jenna Griswold if she was running for governor, she told us she had not decided how her service will look beyond 2026. That statement was provided by her brother Chris, one of her political advisors. When we found the Jenna for Governor website, her brother told us, definitely not a domain that I set up, about that. At the bottom of the page, you could subscribe to an email list. I did, and got an automated reply from Griswold's brother's email address. We asked him again about the website, and after researching, he said he purchased the domain name to prevent anyone else from being able to claim the domain, and that she, Griswold, has not made a decision about her service to the state beyond 2026. Griswold oversees campaign finance laws, which require certain disclosures once someone is a candidate.
The law says that you become a candidate if you make a public statement and you either spend or receive money in furtherance of your candidacy. So simply having a website in isolation doesn't necessarily violate anything.
Jessica Smith is a constitutional law attorney who helped me understand the requirements of the Secretary of State's How to Run for State Office Guide, which says an expenditure in support of your candidacy would make you an official candidate, like paying for a website.
It would matter if she wasn't involved or had no knowledge of this website. The law requires that if you become a candidate, you have to make certain disclosures in order to stay a candidate. If you fail to make those disclosures, you can be disqualified. There can also be penalties assessed.
The domain name Jenna for Governor was bought anonymously. The only thing that linked it to Griswold was that automatic reply we got back from her brother's email. Once we signed up for those updates, someone has privately bought the domain name Phil Weiser for Governor, if you're curious. And when we search, it tells us the owner is redacted for privacy. That website is not public. It's a blank screen that says the site can't be reached. So we don't have that same public announcement that we had with that Griswold page. So for the questions of why aren't you asking Weiser, it's because there's really no public Weiser for Governor that we have seen yet.
Isn't it true sometimes that political opponents will kind of like squat on a website to use it to put out bad information about somebody? You know, I do Marshall for Governor and I put on there like Marshall hates puppies. So if somebody goes to Marshall for Governor, they see that instead of nice stuff.
Let's be clear. I love puppies.
You do love puppies.
But no, and Chris Griswold said this to me in our phone conversation, that you will buy up domain names so that other people can't trash you online by creating a site that looks legit, whether or not you are a candidate, and say some really bad things about you, that you want to own those sites. So there are reasons to do this. I think it was just, whoops, we shouldn't have made the public check.
We shall find out soon. Also, you need to lock down Marshall for Governor, or I will. Marshall Zellinger, thank you. School district in Colorado is facing a federal lawsuit for its conservative school board's decision to ban more than a dozen books. High schoolers suing, saying it's a violation of constitutional rights. Back in August, the school board in Elizabeth announced 19 books would be pulled off school library shelves. About 100 more would be placed on what they call a sensitive books list. That list included any books mentioning the LGBTQ community, religious views, drug use, profanity, or sexual content. Now the ACLU, the NAACP, and the Authors Guild are suing on behalf of a high schooler in the district. They say that book review process disproportionately targeted books by and for the LGBT community and people of color. They say it's unconstitutional.
We think it would be an important precedent to say to governments, school districts, libraries across our state and across the Rocky Mountains, don't inject your political viewpoints in preventing children from having access to books. Kids need a wide variety of experiences. They need to have understand and learn from a variety of viewpoints.
So the Elizabeth School Board went beyond just removing certain books from district libraries. They also brought in a Christian conservative book fair provider, and they suggested policies that would dictate what kinds of books teachers can have in their classrooms. So there's a nonprofit in the Denver metro area that has this enormously audacious goal every holiday season: to provide gifts to more than 10,000 children in need. And here's the wrinkle with the way that Precious Child does this. They provide the parents and caregivers with the gift and the wrapping paper so that they get to be part of that joyful process. This week's Word of Thanks microgiving campaign supports a Precious Child's holiday gift giveaway, an enormous effort involving the nonprofit's team, their volunteers, and people who are on the lookout for need across 8 counties in the metro area. Schools, social service organizations, community groups, they all refer families in need to a Precious Child because they know that that nonprofit has the scale to pull off this huge holiday effort. They work in Douglas County up to Weld County, Adams County, Jefferson County, all over the metro. We have supported this effort for years through Word of Thanks, and as I've gotten to know them, I understand that the holiday gifts are just one part of what they do, which is making kids who live in poverty in Colorado understand that they're seen, valued, and that they have a tremendous future, and that a Precious Child will be with them clear until they enter the workforce. Scan the QR code on your screen or text the word THANKS to 303-871-1491 to get that link to join me and others in giving. More than 3,700 of you have signed up to simplify your giving with a monthly donation to the Word of Thanks Fund. That's meant we've started your recent microgiving campaigns with $25,000 in donations each week. You can use that same QR code or text to get there.
It was kind of a friendly competition with Gail across the street there. Hers continue to grow.
It's contagious. Started as a one-house tradition, now spreading to the neighbors. And we stopped by a Bingo Friday. Lively party, very receptive to our Friday question. What's your good news?
Yeah, this heat will continue on into the weekend, so close to tying a record on Friday. And here we go again on Saturday as we start the official start of winter here with the winter solstice coming in. Our record high temperature is 67. Our forecast is 63. So with that high pressure building, we could be threatening another record as we go into Saturday. These are the temperatures across the rest of the state and the region, all looking very warm tomorrow, even in the high country. And we have a small storm system on Monday, light snow through the high country. This is the solution for the Christmas storm that we've been talking about. It does look like we'll have some snow showers develop in here on Christmas morning on the western slope and part of the mountains, and it is not looking good. The trending is down here in the metro area and also warm. So I think the best we could do is maybe pull off a little bit of a rain-snow mix, about a 10% as we hit a high temperature of 51 on Christmas. All the temperatures this week look to be above average. That's the way it looks, and have a great holiday.
Christmas lights bring people together. Families, neighbors, total strangers. Our Mike Grady takes us to a display in Denver that proves that.
Merry Christmas!
The best Christmas traditions cut through the biting cold of winter.
Merry Christmas! Happy New Year! Freezing our butts off.
We love to come look at them.
The glow of over 400 decorations lighting up this intersection in Denver is tough to miss.
Crazy.
Gail Seto loves the display.
Because it's enormous.
Her late husband, Ed, started it in the 80s.
He never had a childhood because they were so poor, so he was reliving his childhood.
The spectacle goes beyond Gail's fence.
This picture is when Josh and my husband were together. They were best buddies, actually. My husband got Josh addicted to all this.
This has just been a tradition pretty much since I can remember.
The lights spill into Josh Jaramillo's yard next door.
I describe our display as vintage Christmas.
I think these are called like blow molds.
Blow molds, yeah.
It's just keeping that tradition going, and it just brings our family closer.
Josh's mom, Anna, fires up her yard too.
It was kind of a friendly competition with Gail across the street there. Hers continue to grow. Jim and Sandy just moved in a couple years ago, and their display is already amazing.
Naturally, Sandy Cox, the new neighbor, got in on the soiree of shine.
Kind of pieced together, but things that really touch our heart.
This celebration is special to her too.
Just to be able to forget all of the stress in the world, all the anxiety, all of the depression, and just let it go. And I get emotional. I lost a daughter. It's been probably about 17 years ago. She took her life, and I know she would love this, so I always think of her and talk to her while we're decorating.
Yeah, I think it warms the warms you up when it's cold out. So yeah.
These lights bring so much more to this street corner than a warm hue.
I think my husband's legacy has lived on and continues to grow, yeah.
It's a tradition that won't fade out anytime soon.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah. Come a long way. Thank you for keeping up his spirit.
For next, I'm Mike Grady.
Yeah, as long as you're still all okay with it. Yeah, I love doing it. So.
I know you do.
Even if we don't win, we have fun because we get to visit with everybody.
Every week wraps up the same way around here. We go to a different place, take a pause from the news, and make room for whatever is good in the lives of our neighbors. That is next. May I make a recommendation? Something that I think is worth your time. So I sat down recently with John Caldera. He's the libertarian activist and talk radio host from the Independence Institute, and we talked about journalism and politics and just kind of life and culture in Colorado. He had some really challenging questions on a variety of topics, like how we here at 9 News have covered claims about migrant gang violence in Aurora, how we choose the stories that we report on next, and he also asked how I feel about being a terrible person. It's always a spicy conversation when I sit down with Caldera, but I think that people from across a wide variety of political persuasions will find our conversation interesting. I do, at least. You can tell me if you don't like it. You can find a link to the latest episode of Caldera Show, Devil's Advocate, on the recommendation page on the next section of 9news.com. So a bunch of folks just minding their business at Bingo Friday in Jefferson County today, when in came the news to ask, what's your good news?
We're going to play bingo and have lots of prizes.
I'm going to bingo.
My good news is that I get to come and see all these people every month. I-16.
I'm enjoying my fun afternoon with bingo, and I'm going to go later on tonight and go see White Christmas at the Lakewood Cultural Center.
Well, I just finished cleaning the house, I guess.
It's almost Christmas, and I'm going to my daughter's house. And today I bought all the veggies I need to put in a veggie tray for Christmas.
Cover all your numbers ending in 6.
My good news is that I'm here at the community center with my friends.
And the problem is, everyone else likes it too, and the reason I'm here today is someone canceled and they called me.
072.
How much do you win?
Just piddly little things.
I-28.
That's the good news. I'm here because someone canceled.
G48.
It's fellowship with everybody. That's why it's socialization. Even if we don't win, we have fun because we get to visit with everybody.
B14. Bingo. B14. We have a bingo.
Thanks for coming to Bingo with us. We'll be right back with your feedback. All the feedback tonight's about the jacket. Tom writes, is the jacket an answer to an ugly Christmas sweater? It's not ugly, Tom. Chris says, sure like it. Lindsay, great choice. Susan says, nice. Felton says, fantastic, which is alliteration. Mary Rose says, can I borrow it? Yes, if you're a women's small, you may. And Marcia says, is it new? Merry Christmas. It is not new. Merry Christmas to you and all of the rest. See you next time.